Welcome back, Little Big Heroes. In today's video, we'll be giving our impressions on the recently released Spyro Reignited Trilogy. If you enjoyed the video, why not give us a like? If you're new to the channel, subscribe to become a Little Big Hero. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you're always up to date with the latest content. As with the recent Crash remakes, remasters, whatever you want to call them, we were really excited to see Spyro return from the ashes and make a modern day comeback. Okay, so these games still have identical gameplay from the 90s PlayStation 1 games, but they were such good games that the gameplay perhaps hasn't aged as bad as the graphics clearly have. And that's where these remaster, remake things come into play. We recently reacted to the Medieval remake trailer. Okay, so this one is being classed as a remake. Let's just call them all remakes for consistency's sake. A lot of people, myself included, love these older games so much that a lick of paint and some trophy support is all we're really looking for. The chance to see what these games would look like with modern technology is enough for most of us, and it makes us eager to see what other games could be remade in the future. There's plenty to choose from: Soul Reaver, Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, Dino Crisis. Let us know which games you'd like to see be remade next in the comments below. So what makes Spyro so special in the first place? Well, back in my childhood, I was hooked to Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, even though I have to admit that I always leaned slightly more towards Crash. They both have different styles of gameplay, but there's a lot of things they have in common too. You collect apples, Wumpa fruit in Crash. In Spyro, it's gems. The object in Crash is to find the crystals, and in Spyro, it's the same idea with its own selection of collectibles such as dragons, relics, and eggs. The main difference is that Crash is more on rails, whereas Spyro has a more open feel. It's not entirely open world, but the levels do allow you to tackle the objectives and collectibles in any order you choose. I think this is why I enjoyed these games, the fact that you can explore to find hidden secrets and treasures in order to progress further through the story or to unlock bonus features. I always had such a good feeling getting 100% in a level and eventually completing the game with everything discovered. It's a lost art, as many modern games aren't quite as interested in this format other than perhaps Ubisoft, and maybe that's another reason why so many people crave these games to receive a remake. They're not only classic games, but they also represent a time in gaming which has been long left behind. He's also an iconic character and has managed to live on briefly in the Skylander games, so Spyro still has some relevance even with kids today. So what were my expectations going into these remakes? Nothing much, to be honest, other than updated graphics, sound and animations. And for the most part, this seems to have been handled expertly. Each level has had a great attention to detail spent on it, and it looks like the developers Toys for Bob enjoyed every second that they put into the game. The graphics have a nice smooth cartoony look which I can appreciate, and I also love the fact that you can choose between the updated and original soundtracks. Every Elder Dragon is also unique with their own visual design and personality, which shows just how much work went into the game instead of using a lazy copy and paste method by simply changing their colours. The only thing that got under my skin was Spyro's voice. I don't know how long he's had this type of voice for, since I haven't played the game since the early PlayStation 2 days, but it sounds a bit whiny for my liking.
You got a problem with that pussycat?
He sounds more like a side character than a traditional hero we are used to seeing in these games.
Why did I go on this crazy quest with you guys?
I mean, just imagine Ratchet with the same annoying voice.
You got a problem with that pussycat?
It doesn't work, at least not for me. Maybe he had this voice in the original PlayStation 1 games and I simply can't remember.
I feel fired up, Bob, and I'm happy for the Dragon World, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my Dragon days butting heads with Nasty Nork and his weird minions.
But that's just how I feel today. Sorry. Based on what I've read, most of the criticisms come from what you would expect: outdated gameplay and some technical flaws. And of course the controversy surrounding the physical discs only containing the first game, meaning you have to download the other two games. Why this decision was made by Activision, we can't understand, but it's something to consider if you will buy physical. But overall, I think the people who were interested in Spyro in the first place will still purchase these remakes, and that includes us. Thanks for watching today's video. What did you think of the Spyro Reignited Trilogy? Is it as good as you remember from the 90s? And what other games would you like to see remade next? Let us know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, why not give us a like? If you're new to the channel, subscribe to become a Little Big Hero, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to keep up to date with the latest content. See you in the next video.